Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, my adventures. Raw material. It's all about the material. Yeah, we're getting some. We just have to keep hunting and hunting and hunting until it's all filled up. Just going around the rim until we don't have to. See where the strongest signal is. Not really any. That are the strongest. Probably right there. Just have to keep going until we can't load any more of them, or like 50% are full. And just keep going. but we're leaning toward materials. Probably the main reason is we're within about a million or $1.5 billion away from our max credits that we really want to have. So we're doing a little more materials. Now at some point we'll fill up our materials, not soon, but at some point. And then either we'll be filled with our credits too, or we'll go after the credit. So what we've been doing is just doing a little bit here and there until we fill it up. And then we turn around and see if anything pops up, and if it doesn't, we kind of still go in a direction. Try to keep it as smooth as possible. Not too rough, because we can cover more distance if it's not rough. And of course, we're in the opposite direction, I'm sure. That's the way it always is. Whatever direction you're pointing in after the spin, you know you are going in the other direction. Does it really matter? Not really. You're just looking for something to pop up. But materials are one of those things that, you know, it pretty much takes forever to fill it up. That's why it has to be the highest priority. It's still not real close. Some that are a little bit stronger, like right there. Upper levels splitting it. Upper levels are dominant. So you don't know if it's the same signal or if it's broken into multiple signals, but this usually helps. If you find one, go ahead and take care of that one. Again, no one can steal your materials. If they kill you, when you respawn, your materials are back with you. Just like your credits. Your credits don't go away. Now your rebuy does, but the rest of your credits don't go away. I have like 8.5 billion. Something happened, like in this, it's only like 267 credits for the rebuy, so would hardly even notice. But again, it's not like, oh, by Friday we have to have all 1.5 billion. No, more. No. Until you're no longer in existence. Normally what happens with these things, like Elite Dangerous is just so big, has so many players, you know, they might sell it to another company, another game company, and then that new game company would probably continue it based on how many users or players they've got. But when Odyssey comes out next year, how many credits do we need? We don't know. Will there be something that will take more than 5 billion? Fleet Carrier was 5 billion. Will there be something bigger? We don't know. When personal planetary bases come out, what will it cost? Will it cost credits? ARXs? What does it cost? We don't know. How much do we need? We don't know. That's why it's kind of hard. That's why after we get to the 10 billion and we fill up the materials, it's like we might do a little bit of credit gathering. Get to 11 billion, or get to 12 billion, or whatever. And that target goes all around it, and you just have to wait till it eventually gets there. It's just like materials. How much materials do we need? We don't really know. And I don't know how much materials we really need. We know I had a lot of materials before, and we used them all. And so we're collecting materials, but I wasn't full. I didn't have all the materials I could store at that time. I had quite a few, but I wasn't full. If it was full, would I have been able to do all the upgrades I needed and have plenty left? I don't know. We just keep collecting all the time. I am doing some No Man's Sky videos right now. I probably would do some Subnautica, but we don't really get views on Subnautica. Not worth really doing. So I just stopped doing videos on Subnautica. Most of our views have been with Elite Dangerous, so went back to that. And I'm sure if most of our views were with No Man's Sky, we'd do mainly No Man's Sky. Just in case someday we got enough support that it would make a difference. But right now, no, it doesn't. Doesn't really make a difference. So I just kind of do my own thing. Which even in No Man's Sky, I kind of do my own thing. And in No Man's Sky right now, I've got some really great bases, and we've done videos on our bases, but the surrounding planet that surrounds the base is very beautiful on most of them. So now we're just going out we're doing some planetary exploration around the bases. And I have quite a few bases. So we're not actually covering the bases, but the planet around the base is what we're covering. And I got a pretty nice bonus where I work, so kind of upgrading my system. I'm looking at a motherboard right now that PCIe 3.0 sockets or slots for 16 bus on them for video cards, because I could get another 1080 and use the SLI cables, and I have some in a box somewhere in the garage, I think. Or at most they cost $8 for 2 of them. So even if I had to buy some, it's not bad. And I could have 2 1080s working pretty much together. You don't get, not like getting double, but maybe another 50%. So if I could find another 1080, let's say in a year, for a couple of $100 or $150, I'd probably go ahead and get it and plug them both in and connect them. Put them together, have more GPUs. Or get the 20 series, like a 2070 or a 2080. The 30 series, there's no way. There's no way. Way too expensive. Maybe by this time next year, I possibly could, if there's no better VR, and my HP Reverb G2 is still about the best, then if I get another bonus, use some of that on my computer. I've always had some pretty nice computers, and it's just based on what I'm doing. If I'm this wild entrepreneurial idea that never works, but sounds good on paper, it just never works. Or they haven't in the past. Got 102 out of 150. My ideas have never worked. I've kind of played with Bitcoin and thought I had some ideas and it didn't work out. And with the YouTube thing, I mean, it was possible. We started out getting lots of views and sound like, well, if we just keep making videos, maybe it'll work out. Well, that didn't really work out. So we keep trying things and things just don't work out. My day job kind of works out better than anything else. I have a lot of experience in programming and data and they're kind of a combination of things. It's worked out really good. The company I work for seems to really like me. And it's in an operations department, so very high stress. Customers expect no downtime at all. And so when there is downtime, you have to go at 100 miles an hour, and it better be right, and it better work every time. Well, sometimes I'm wondering, am I really smart enough to, or is it smart that I've stayed in this thing? Stressful as it is? Because the department that I work in has the most turnover of any department in the company. And the only ones that are left are the ones that's been there like forever. Everybody else never stays. I've been with them for about 5 years. Pays decent. It's not like it's great pay. I've made more. The benefits are pretty good. And as I get older, the benefits are even better, or seem to be better, because we need good benefits. And because I've had difficulties with jobs in the past, we don't really have a retirement, so I'll probably have to work forever. So I could easily work for another 30 years, so maybe we'll wind up creating a retirement. But I'm not going to tell you how old I am already, so it's kind of depressing. All those retirement dreams that you think you got and what would be really cool and never works out. So and Social Security will never pay enough because they give it to people that never put any money in it. So all of us that put money in it won't get any of it because it's bankrupt from all the people that took Social Security that never put anything in it. The people around the world, they all come here to get all the free money, which is not free, it costs somebody. So the people that actually pay for it gets none of it. So And the national debt of the U.S. will never be paid off. I mean, we don't have enough taxpayers to ever pay it off. Half the country don't pay any taxes at all. And the other half, certainly can't always pay the bills. You could take every penny from every millionaire plus, and it'd only last for a few months. And then all of their money would be gone. Then who pays for all of it? I mean, there's just a lot of people that are not real smart. They just don't think that stuff out. They just think there's plenty of people to pay their way, and there's not. And someday, like China and other places that have loaned the U.S. money, and other countries are going to come knocking going, we want our money. But I guess all of these people will then pack up and try to go to another country where they can take all their money. But at least I have a job that, since I'm always on call and waiting for the phone to ring or the company chat, I get dinged and to work on stuff. So I just have to stay busy. It's kind of a fun way to stay busy. And some of the guys watch movies all the time or watch sports all the time, and I'd just rather be in VR all the time until I'm needed. But it does seem real when you have VR. Point where you see some planet on TV or something, and you go, yeah, I could go land on that. And you remind yourself, well, it's really not real, but it seems to be real. That's why, if you ever get a chance to do VR, you need to check it out. Pretty amazing, especially if you have good VR. Yeah, I started out with a Rift CV1. It was a good start to get an idea, but it's not really all that great. The Oculus Rift S is really good. And now I've got the HP Reverb G2 on pre-order, and I'm sure that's going to be really good. And where it really seems like it's real. Very immersive. To the point you can get motion sickness and everything else from SRVs. Because your brain thinks it's real. Well, I appreciate you coming by and going with me on this journey. Be sure to press that subscribe button. I wish I didn't have to ask for subscribes, but I have to, because that's the only way, maybe someday, years down the line, that I can get some support from YouTube. And you can look in the description and see ways to donate and join our Patreon, and there's a link in there how to find the fleet carrier to add tritium to the fleet carrier. So and you watch more of our videos. We have over 1,000 videos. So until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.